The golden age of comics. You know, there's no denying the beauty, the wholesome artwork of the golden age. This is a lithograph from Sands of the South Pacific #1. Artwork here is by an artist that is not well known. His name is John Rosenberger. Was John Deal. He also was known by. He dealt with romance books and superhero books. This is a classic cover, though. The original I wish one day to own. Very hard to find, though, in a decent grade. I want to own it, and probably at least a 3.0, 3.5 grade. But this lithograph does it big time justice. Golden Age, of course, the majority of the Golden Age. We admire it mostly for its cover art and nostalgia. This one's a little bit more well known. This is by Mr. Clarence Matthew Baker, Mr. Barkerino. This character, unlike his Phantom Lady and his Cinderella love, and I mean, this guy's got some great covers all over the place. It's a shame he only lived to 37 years old. To this day, Giant Comics edition #12 is one of the giant books, almost unachievable books that you can hope to have. You know, it's way out of my league, as is Phantom Lady, or some of the Cinderella love covers anyway. But Canteen Kate is not out of price yet. Not yet, anyway. This is a cover from Canteen Kate #3. Matt Baker created Canteen Kate and Fighting Marines #3, based in the Korean War, as entertainment for the GIs that were into comic books back then. They threw some quirky stories, and I just always thought that the cover to #3 was exactly what she was meant to be. A hot girl that created some really awkward situations, and it turns out to be like funny, you know. There's a hot chick going to take a shower in the barracks, and look at these guys like, holy crap. Yeah. Look, I love the Golden Age, but I also love modern comics. Now, I go on different channels and I visit different channels just to get people's opinions about comic books. To this day, I still can't believe that there are people out there that actually think that there is no value in collecting modern comic books. And they're giant channels, by the way. I mean, channels that dwarf this little corner of YouTube here where the Spec Collector resides and hides. But I just don't see it. Look, to each his own, right? To each his own. Me, I love my modern comics. Yes, I love Golden Age as well, but I'm more into the modern comic books because that's what I grew up on. You know, this is what kind of inspired me to get comic books to begin with. when you go out and you invest, first of all, when you invest in comics, what is it that I always say? 10% of your savings income should probably go into comics. Don't go too crazy on investing everything you own into comic books. There's better investments out there. Well, you know what? Let's rephrase that. There's other investments out there. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. But if you're going to, then yeah, you can elect to go into Golden Age. You can elect to go into all modern age. I like to dip into different. I do everything. A little bit of golden, a little bit of silver, a lot of bronze, a lot of modern. Mostly modern because that's what I know. Case in point. Now, this is a guy that's looking deep into your soul, buddy, into your very being. Beautiful cover. Just a beautiful cover as there is in any Golden Age. It's a book that I've always wanted to have. And like I told you guys, this is the time to go out and get those books that you have always been wanting. Because everything is down, you know. Anybody that puts out comics out there, they're not getting a premium for it right now. I mean, unless you put it out as buy it now, you put it out in auction. I mean, you don't know what that auction is going to do. Yeah, there are some auctions that are breaking records, but the majority are not. And this one didn't. This was put out in auction, and I was able to buy it at what I consider to be a bargain price. This is, of course, The Crow #1. Now, there's different printings on this book. However, this one is, and I don't want to handle this book too much right now, okay, because it does have a couple of issues. This will not be a 9.8, but this has very high hopes. This is going to be going out to Mr. Kendra. And like you see, this is a first printing of The Crow #1. Look at the artwork inside this book. I have to handle this properly. Hold on. The art styles vary in this book. You go from this almost painty feel, like painted art almost, to a type of Will Eisner-like artwork. Makes me think that James O'Barr was definitely influenced by Eisner, because this looks just like Eisner's work. There's different pages in here that feel like they were done by Eisner, actually. Again, it's a little hard for me to do this with one hand without... See, even the splash pages, something that Eisner used all the time. See, to me, this work is just as good as that work. Can I say that this is better than that? No, I can't say that. But I also can't say that that is better than this. Like, look at that. you feel that storm. Check this out. Look at the brick on here. Look at the light work and the shadow work at play in these pages. This book truly is a classic in every sense of the word. And no one can tell me you can't invest in this. They're out of their freaking minds. Okay? All right. I'll show you guys what I paid. And I'll show you another beauty that I got. The Crow #1. I bought that at the end of the year in 2022. 1 day to spare. $542.72. The truth is, I bought it for $500. Because of the shipping and the taxes, it comes out to $542.72. It's not a 9.8. This is going to be going to Mr. Kendra. It has 2 issues. One of them is, you know what? Both of them are kind of major. That's one right there. If you hold it up against the light, you will see that it puffs out. It's a color breaking tick. I think Kendra can put it through a humidity chamber and really go to work on that, attack that real well. The other major issue, now everything else about it, look at that. That is one black cover. And these little ticks are not color breaking. So I think he can work with that as long as he gets that temperature right, the humidity right on it. The other major issue is fingerprints. The black cover, especially this kind of cover, when you touch it, creates fingerprints. That he can remove. See that? That can come out with the press. Over here you could see a little bit of fingerprints across the light. Where is that? There's a fingerprint right there. You see it? Right there. But I think he can get it out. And then in the back of the book, you know, if this was a white book, you probably wouldn't even be able to see these fingerprints. These are fingerprints, that type of prints that are probably in most books. But in black covers, they show up a hell of a lot more. But I think, like, again, this is why it's going to Kendra. This is why it's not going to CCS. That's part of that same tick that's on the other end. But it's a classic book, man. A gorgeous book that I can't wait to see it back. My expectations for this book, I think in its current condition, if I were to send this out right now to get graded, it'll probably grade at a 8.0 because of that and because of the fingerprints, maybe a 7.5. But in my opinion, I think Kendra can get this into the 9s. Can it be a 9.6? If he can get all of those fingerprints off and attack that color breaking tick, this can be a 9.6. Hoping really high on that though. Imagine going from a 7.5 now to a 9.6. Can we do that? Can't say it can't be done, man. Never say never. You know, Kendra he's done work for me before. Sentai, man, he's done work for me before that Actually, you know what? Sentai was done by CCS. I gotta give them credit for that. But Kendra did the Amadeus Cho book that I know for a fact was probably an 8.0. Got it to a 9.6. Got it to a 9.6. The next book's gonna blow your mind. I know you've probably seen it on the corner there. I might have shown it already. Who doesn't love Golden Age? Come on. I had to. When I saw this on Comic Link, I had to have it. So I put my alarm clock on, and I was determined on winning this auction. This is Canteen Kate number 3. Here we go. How's that? Ooh, come on. Here we go. How's that? Isn't nice? Yeah. See what they did to it? They just changed the background pretty much. Some of the colors. Beautiful. Just gorgeous book. When I blew up the pictures on Comic Link, I saw that this has never been pressed. It also does not say that it has brittle pages. But this needs a big time cleaning. See, the staples are a little bit, I don't know if that's rust, and it definitely hasn't been pressed. There are wavy spots here. Can CCS clean this well? Unfortunately, I cannot send this to Kendra because it's already graded at a 6.0. You see, if I send it to CCS, I've never sent the book out to CCS and have the book come back at a lower grade unless it was signature series. I would want to definitely approve the appearance of the book, even if it comes back at a 6.0. At least if they can clean it a little bit, and the press can help it. Realize that here it is. See, if you see it here, you're gonna probably see that where the press is needed. CCS cleaned my Tomb of Dracula to a point where it was like pearly white. It will not be the case with this one. It just has too much like staining at this point. But they can get it a little bit wider, I think. Just approving the look of the book, you know. The highest grade on this book is an 8.0. And there's only 31 graded on CGC. I don't know how many are graded on CBCS or if any are graded on CBCS. CGC has 31 grades. One grade is a 7, I think it's a 7.5 or a 7.0 that is restored or conserved grade. The rest of them are universals. But would it be worth it for CCS to press it and regrade it? And I think I'm going to take that chance because it doesn't say that the pages are brittle, and I do not believe that they'll pop any of those staples, even though I can't see the innards of it. I'll tell you what I paid for it. Canteen Kate number 3. Now this is the Keeper Project, blue chip tier. It's been a year and a half since I bought a book. The last book that I bought was the Amazing Spider-Man number 5, which is still not here yet. Oh no, wait a minute. No, my bad. Yeah, well, I did get it back. Yeah, it came back as a 2.5. Not bad. That's right, I did get it back. A 2.5. Paid $4.59 plus the grading and the pressing. That one I sent to Kendra. 2.5 was a magnificent grade for that. Yeah, okay. I paid total $806.08 for this. The real auction price, ending price, was $700. It was a record at that time for any grade on Canteen Kate number 3. But even though it was $700, Comic Link charges you a buyer's premium of 3%. Their shipping was $35. And then taxes are based on the entire thing, including the shipping. Yeah, $700 turned into $806 real quick. Okay, and then now I'm probably looking at grading this. Now this is a Golden Age book too, so I'm definitely looking into paying more to get it pressed and cleaned and get it to look a little bit better than this. Maybe having the grade go up a little bit more. We'll see what happens. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do that? Would you do that? Would you? I gotta tell you, I think I'm gonna do it only because I just want this. This will be my first Matt Baker book. I wanted to own something by Matt Baker, man. And yeah, I would love to have the Phantom Lady. I would love to have Cinderella Love books. But you know, Canteen Kate, I was a GI myself. And these guys were Marines, though. I was in the Army. But I'll treasure this just as much. This is by St. John's. He did a lot of work for St. John's. Mr. Matt Baker was said to be gay. No problem with that, you know. He was also said to have a relationship with the publisher of St. John. His name was Archer St. John, actually. That's never been confirmed. There are family members and acquaintances and friendships of his that confirmed, or at least said, that they had a relationship, which would probably make sense. He worked for so much for St. John. He kept them afloat, in my opinion. Too bad, you know, Matt Baker really didn't get known until really later on. He wasn't even alive. He never got the recognition that he deserved. Like many artists, man. Schomburg was another one. Didn't really get recognition until way later on, like now. These guys are just starting to really get recognition, and it's all because of YouTubers. I think YouTubers are bringing their names and they're shining the spotlight on these guys like it should have been, you know, back in the day. And his works are starting to really take off. He's known for being one of the first African-American creators in comics. One of the legendary creators in comics, and one of the first black men to work in comic books. As a matter of fact, in Crown Comics number 3, he came up with a character called Voodoo. He's in the cover of that book, and he is a black hero, not a superhero, but like a hero. Well, because of that time, they made him draw the character as a white guy later on, you know, but he was able to slip him in as a black hero. Crown Comics #3 is a book that I have notifications for. It's not something that's plentiful of. It's a very rare book nowadays. Can't really see them anymore, much less like whoever owns them, they don't really want to let them go. I think I can get it for a good price, but now that I'm talking about it, maybe I shouldn't have said anything. Whatever, dudes. Bottom line is, man, look, as much as I love Matt Baker, James O'Barr, magnificent job with The Crow. Happy to own these 2 books. I'm happy that they're keepers and they will not leave my collection. You know, cross fingers here, okay? But unless I really have a calamity, which I'm crossing fingers again that doesn't happen, more than likely these will be passed on to my family. Everybody has a strategy for investing or collecting, you know. Collectors, look, I can't blame people for saying, hey, it's time to let these things go, sell them, get some cash in, maybe buy a house. How can you blame somebody for something like that? You can't. But not everybody has to do that. If you have the means, like right now, I'm not really. That's why it's so good to have a strategy. 10% into your comics, and then the other 90% you split it somewhere else. The truth is that even though I do say 10% into comics, I follow that for a long time, but as of late, I'm putting a very big chunk into comics, man. As of late, I think I'm, especially with the grading alone, just with the grading alone, it's probably more into the 30% into comics right now, because I've gotten a lot of stuff graded that I have had for 20 years or more, even 40 years. I've sent it out and got graded, and all those grading fees are adding up. So, but I would still say 10% of your savings, not your paycheck, of your savings, put it into the comics. Do the rest in other things. Put the majority of that percentage into stocks, dividend-paying stocks, or stocks that follow, or mutual funds that follow the S&P, that maybe if you are in your 20s, every dollar that you put in there will be worth, by the time you retire, $88. That's my advice. But anyway, these are 2 books in my collection. What would you prefer, modern or golden? I prefer both. Both, boss.
What's it going to be, Dion? Football or baseball?
Both, boss.
Both?
Both.
Offense or defense?
Both.
Both?
Both.
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 Pizza Hut.
Meat lovers or stuffed crust pizza?
Both.
Both?
Both. Pizza.
So what would it be, Dion? 15, 20 million?
Both.